NFL is completely rigged and completely scripted. John Harbaugh was the longtime special teams coach on the Philadelphia Eagles. His unprecedented second Super Bowl championship is going to come against his former team, the Philadelphia Eagles. This is the script. This is reminiscent of Ken Whisenhart with the Steelers and coaches the Cardinals to a Super Bowl appearance against the Steelers. This is reminiscent of Bill Belichick being the New York Giants' two-time Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator, and he loses 2 Super Bowls against the Giants. This is reminiscent of Andy Reid, Eagles Super Bowl losing coach, beating the Eagles as coach of the Chiefs and facing off against the Eagles in another Super Bowl. These are the perfect examples of what happened in the past to allow this to happen. And now let me show you exactly how they've rigged the Super Bowl. Once the Gematrinator loads up, and let me, before this loads up, John Harbaugh was with the Eagles for years, 1998, all the way down to 2007. He was with the Eagles for years. He must know the Eagles owner, Jeffrey Luria. Ravens have 18 playoff wins. They're going to win their 22nd playoff game against the Eagles over at Levi's Stadium. That's what Lamar Jackson is going to do. He's going to beat Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl. Jalen is 30. The Ravens improved to 3-0 in the Super Bowl. Joe Flacco won the last Super Bowl. They win their next Super Bowl appearance, go for 3 for 3 in the Super Bowl since leaving Cleveland. Also, Joe Flacco, Joe is 12, and Sirianni would be 1-2 in the Super Bowl. The Eagles fall to 2-4 in the Super Bowl as a franchise. Lamar Jackson with a 3-5 playoff record enters the Super Bowl 6-5 in the playoffs. Philadelphia 6-5, but then he's gonna be 7-5. The city of Santa Clara is gematria of 75. This is how you know they are losing against the Baltimore Ravens in the Super Bowl. The Eagles lose against the Ravens. You have to look at John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh coaching on the 39th day of the year. And we have to go to Jalen Hurts playoff. His name is Jalen Hurts because it hurts. He lost 2 Super Bowls. He hurt it. He's lost more than he's won. His name is Jalen Hurts for a reason. He's going to be 8-3 in the playoffs against Lamar Jackson, defending the title he won at New Orleans, Louisiana. And then Lamar Jackson is here to win the Super Bowl. So what was 84? Not Lamar Jackson. It was something else. A World Cup does equal Ravens. And again, Levi's equals Eagles. You know that part. Santa Clara, California, 86 is gematria of Hertz is 86. Now this part right here. Lamar Jackson is 37. Philly is 37. Ravens is 83. His playoff record could be 8-3 entering the Super Bowl before losing against Lamar Jackson. Let's look at the Eagles-Ravens series record. Eagles beat them last time. I've seen this graphic right there. Series is tied 3-3. Okay, here we go. The Ravens last win October 18 of 2020. So what's the amount of time from that day in 2020 to the day that Lamar Jackson in the Ravens on a uh, 5 years, 3 months would be Camacho Bay Area. It is Bay Area. That equals 53. The Panthers is 53. They played in Super Bowl 50. And I believe he must look at the birthday of John Harbaugh, because obviously he's got that connection to the Eagles until September 23 to the day that, they are in the Super Bowl. Is what I think we need to look at. I think we must stay away from the Bucs right now. I think Bucs got to put him in there for next year. Not sure 138, 139 is. Maybe I have to look at his full name and see what we get in the calculator. Coach John Harbaugh. Coach John Harbaugh's Camacho Levi Stadium. Coach John Harbaugh 82 is Camacho 80. Lamar Jackson is 80, and if you missed it, Levi's Stadium is 80 with the S, of course. Ravens over Eagles, it is. Jared Goff is from the Bay Area, so I'm not ruling out the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions can make it to the Super Bowl. This would be a perfect opportunity to, allow a team to make it to their first Super Bowl. But now things are looking very, very, very dire right now for. If the Eagles make it back, there's a real narrative. Jalen Hurts against Lamar Jackson. I know people will say McDermott coached the Eagles. McDermott coached the Eagles. It's got to be the Bills in the Super Bowl this year. It has to be the Buffalo. What? Here is the psychological operation right here. One of these two coaches going to be playing the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and it's not going to be McDermott. It's going to be Lamar Jackson. Again, Buffalo ain't allowed to make it to the Super Bowl until 33 years after Super Bowl 28. That's the only team that plays their games in the state of New York.